Now at 6, authorities investigate the death of a man after finding his body in a Joplin park. Plus, why the city of Joplin today is honoring fallen JPD Corporal Ben Cooper. And a Southwest Missouri organization marks the anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A man is rushed to the hospital following an afternoon shooting in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 6. Police received a call of gunshots at 1201 East Hill Street before 4 this afternoon. That's where they found a man with gunshot injuries. They say he was considered to be in critical condition. Police have not made any arrests in that case. Joplin police say a body was found in Cunningham Park, but that death does not seem suspicious. Police say a passerby noticed the body around 7:20 this morning near a trolley stop at the park and called 911. When officers arrived, they found the body of a middle-aged man. Authorities have not yet released the identity of that man, but they say the initial investigation does not find the death to be suspicious. Joplin today took time to remember a fallen hero. Police and others gathered for a moment of silence and prayer in honor of Corporal Ben Cooper on what would have been Cooper's 47th birthday. Corporal Cooper was one of 3 members of the Joplin Police Department who were shot on March 8th. He and Officer Jake Reed did not survive. Joplin Mayor Doug Lawson proclaimed today Corporal Ben Cooper Day and ordered flags flown at half-staff. March 9th is now dedicated to Officer Reed in honor of his birthday. A Burlington, Kansas man has died from a motorcycle crash. Authorities say Harvey Eccles was driving his motorcycle in Montgomery County when he left the road and hit a ditch. He later died at the hospital. Eccles was commander of the American Legion Post 38 in Burlington. A passenger on the motorcycle was not injured. Record-breaking heat out there today. Let's check in with Doug.
Yeah, super hot, smoking hot for us today. At least 106 across the region. The record heading in today was 104 degrees. Heat advisories in effect. Missouri, Kansas, excessive heat warning still going on across northeastern Oklahoma for the next couple hours. We've been dry, but a few isolated little guys just north of the region. We may see 1 or 2 little isolated storms north of I-44 pop up over the next couple hours until we lose the heating of the day. And then we're going to watch for a cluster trying to get in here late tonight. But look at these temps, 104, 105, 106 across the region. Of course, heat indices right around 104 to 105 to about 106 degrees. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 90s into the 80s. Rain chances, also cooler temps. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Thanks, Todd. A boater is sharing the scary moments when his boat began to sink on Table Rock Lake on Friday. Reporter Madison Horner has more about what happened to Jeremy Brown and reminders for boaters before heading out into deep water.
As the water started to rise even more, Brown says he let go of his boat and pushed it away from the dock.
That's when I just my heart sank and I realized that my boat is going under.
He says it was one of those moments where you start to panic.
We had less than 10 minutes to react, or we all would have been in the water. All the conditions were right for us to be able to manage it, but we had to act quick, and you also want to be safe about it.
Captain Jim Pooley with Seatow Table Rock Lake says when he arrived to assist the owners, the boat was standing straight up, the hull completely out of the water.
My greatest worry was that it was going to flip and roll, which makes it a lot more difficult to remove from the lake once they do go upside down with hull up.
Pooley was eventually able to take the boat across the lake to State Park Marina. Before pulling the boat out, they noticed water was pouring into the boat. The hose that spits water out of the engine department had come off.
So even if the bilge had been pumping, it was just pumping water back into the boat. Plus that through the hull fitting, water was coming in, and that's what sunk the boat.
Pooley says situations can happen very quickly on the water. That's why it's important to go through a boater checklist before leaving the dock so you're prepared for an emergency.
If you check your engine compartment before you leave, which is a good thing to do, and you notice there's some water in there, put that thing on manual, make sure it's going to pump out.
Other essentials include extra water bottles, life jackets, flotation devices, and boat anchors.
If you're coved out and the wind picks up and your boat moves away from you at a quick pace to where you can't keep up with it. The next thing you know, you're panicking trying to get to your boat. And some people are strong swimmers and some are not.
Brown says despite the scary experience, he feels grateful and lucky no one on board was hurt.
It's very humbling, and I'm very grateful for just the people of Table Rock.
Brown says thanks to the help of other boaters, he was able to get a new boat yesterday. Plans to be back out on the water soon. Coming up, a Southwest Missouri organization celebrates the day the Americans with Disabilities Act was signed, plus how a Southeast Kansas organization is spending their milestone birthday. On My Own, an independent living service in Nevada, Missouri is celebrating the 32nd anniversary of Congress passing the Americans with Disabilities Act. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
Tuesday is the 32nd anniversary of Congress passing the Americans with Disabilities Act. On My Own, an independent living service in Nevada, Missouri, is celebrating the anniversary by informing the community.
Americans with disabilities, they need to understand and know their rights. So this is a great event to remind you of those, to educate you, to show you kind of the history of the ADA.
The Americans with Disabilities Act created a more accessible country for all Americans.
Employment and other things are more accessible to not only people with disabilities, but also the other population as well.
Even after 32 years, the fight for rights and resources is still continuing. Organizations like On My Own are still advocating for the disability community.
Well, of course, funding is always an issue, and it seems like they kind of fall through the cracks in this organization, and so we're going to get a meeting set up for her to come to Jefferson City and maybe get her with the people that can help with that.
On My Own pride themselves on advocating for others and being a community resource. They work with the city of Nevada to make their community more accessible.
We work really well with our city and county. They have made changes to our sidewalks and our curbs and things like that. And so we work with them on a regular basis to make things more accessible for people with disabilities.
In Nevada, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
To get involved with On My Own, go to KOAMnewsnow.com for a link. Today, a celebration of 30 years of service for the Southeast Kansas Independent Resource Center in Parsons took place. SKILL is an advocacy organization that supports people with disabilities by helping remove the barriers to finding housing and employment. They celebrated by having multiple organizations set up displays, including the police and fire departments and Labette Health, who are giving out free vaccinations.
We are sharing with the community sign language, just basic signs, so they can learn. And we want to make all people interested into learn sign language.
Live music, food, drinks, snow cones, and ice cream were a few of the treats that were free to the public. A little bit later, the latest on record rain in St. Louis causing flash flooding.
Plus the heat, maybe some relief and some rain chances. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a blazing hot day for us today. 106, may have hit 107. We'll have to see what the official high is. Partly cloudy skies. You can see those cumulus clouds popping up. Landers Chevrolet tower came on the southeast side of the city. All right, heat advisories in effect for the next couple hours. Still excessive heat warnings in northeastern parts of Oklahoma. And check this month out so far. We've only had 2 days below average, and it was still 89. But we have hit 100 degrees. I mean, look at this stretch for a week, and we've done it just about every week, 24 days above average. So if we compare this to summers in the past, by July 26th, 1954, we had hit 100 degrees 21 times, 1980, 21 times, 15 times in 2011, 15 times in 2012, and today is our 16th time so far that we have hit 100 degrees or better. So we are kind of ranking up there with some of the hottest summers on record. Look at our temps right now. Most of us are still sitting 104, 105, 102 in Parsons. Grand is sitting at 104. Cassville at 111. And then, of course, the heat indices at least matching the temperatures across the region. So super hot throughout the evening hours. You got the cumulus clouds, but most of us are dry. Heat index 106, humidity relative at 23%. Through the evening hours, can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm, but will slide back through the 90s, eventually into the 80s later on tonight. Any thunderstorms are staying mainly just north of the region, but from I-44 north in this sector, we'll most likely get 1 or 2 pop-up storms over the next couple hours, and then once we lose the heating of the day, those will be gone. But we're going to watch this little wave back out across central Kansas to at least give us better chances for showers and thunderstorms over the next couple days. Let's go through time. 1 or 2 storms trying to pop up next couple hours and then gone. Most of the thunderstorms tonight stay to our north. Here's 11 p.m., but a few of these are going to skirt into our northern counties late tonight into tomorrow morning. So some hit and miss showers to start the day tomorrow. And again, really any time during the day we could get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Majority of you will stay dry. We'll push 100 tomorrow, but we're getting better. 94 by noon. High temp right around 100. Tomorrow night, especially late, scattered showers and thunderstorms start popping up. So here's 5:30 in the morning, hit and miss storms working into Thursday morning. And then we get a little bit more numerous showers and thunderstorms. We'll call them scattered as we go through Thursday morning, and then most of these will push out of here by Thursday afternoon. Note the temps, only right around 90 degrees. Front continues to work through by Friday morning, another batch of showers and thunderstorms. So at least we got some chances here to get some wider spread rain across the region. 100 tomorrow, 90 Thursday, 82 Friday, 81 on Saturday. Best chances for rain are going to be periods from Friday morning until Saturday afternoon. And then, of course, the heat returns next week, but we get a nice little stretch of looking pretty good.
You're still in that. Then, of course, the heat returns next week. Of course, naturally. But hey, we're going to enjoy this.
Yeah.
Highs in the 80s
Not
and
bad.
rain chances.
I know it.
Sounds good. Not so good elsewhere, though. Record rain in the St. Louis area overnight caused flash flooding. It's blamed for at least 1 death. 1 person died there when a car was found in 8 feet of water. Trinity Chavez has details.
Evacuees waded through waist-deep floodwaters with their pets, while others hitched a ride with rescue crews in St. Peters, Missouri.
We woke up this morning seeing that this area was underwater, so we all tried to come out as quickly as we could. And we get here and we couldn't go in.
Torrential rain overnight, up to 10 inches in some areas, caused widespread flash flooding in St. Louis and surrounding areas.
It has receded a little bit. Now we're seeing the weight of the water cause some issues with buildings. We're having some partial roof collapse.
Kenneth Brooks thought he could drive through the rising water.
So I'm thinking like, oh, it's not a big deal. No, it is. Because my car stops. I see in front of me there's other cars stopped. My car wouldn't move. I was submerged. I didn't know what to do. I've never been in this situation in my life.
With the rain still coming down, some evacuees arrived at shelters to ride out the storm.
That was a little bit more than I was expecting. Like I said, there was a couple feet of water in there when I left, so probably have to see what made it out.
In downtown St. Louis, crews cleared drains as they worked to reopen roads to help the city dry out and get moving again. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
The fire chief of St. Louis says his department responded to 70 calls to rescue and assist people. Still ahead, it's playoff time for the Joplin Outlaws, and Pitt State and Missouri Southern football head to Kansas City for MIAA Media Day. We're going to hear from both teams. Source Center in Parsons, Kansas is celebrating 2 things. The Disability Advocacy Organization is also recognizing the 32nd anniversary of the ADA, as well as their own 30th anniversary. Multiple organizations, including police, the fire department, and Labette Health, showed up to celebrate. Live music, food, drinks, snow cones, and ice cream were some of the treats that were free to the public.
Today is MIAA Football Media Day in Kansas City. All 12 teams in the league hit the podium today to talk about the season and take questions from the media, including both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern. Our own Danny Terzer is in Kansas City and has more from the Lions and Gorillas.
We're 37 days away from the college football season, and today is MIAA Media Day in Kansas City. Players and coaches from Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State are here to talk about the upcoming season.
When I took this job about 18 months ago, I knew it was a process. I knew it was something that was going to require a lot of time and energy, and it paid off, and we took some steps to really start to turn this thing around.
The day after Fort Hays last year, I felt like this staff and this football team really committed to coming together and finding ways to finish out games.
Pitt State was picked to finish third in the MIAA preseason coaches poll. They're coming off an 8-3 record and still not satisfied.
Certainly building off of a good season, good enough to win 8 games. And that's not the goal at Pittsburgh State, however. And that's not what all these guys work for.
Finishing 8-3, that left a sour taste in our mouth. So coming into the summer and the spring and everything, we knew what we had to do. And when it comes time, we'll be ready.
As for Missouri Southern, last year was their best season since 2014. Now in year 2 under Atiba Bradley, the Lions should find a rhythm.
These kids that have been on our team have had multiple coordinators over the past 2 and 3 years, and so for us to be able to provide the same coordinator, I think that's going to breed success. I think it's going to breed a confidence that we need to go up against a tough MIAA schedule.
Both Pitt State and Missouri Southern open their season at home on September 1st. PSU faces Central Missouri, and Missouri Southern plays Nebraska Kearney. In Kansas City, Danny Terzer, KOAM Sports.
You can check out more comments from the Gorillas and Lions on the sports page at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, it is playoff time now for the Joplin Outlaws. The Outlaws host the Jeff City Renegades tonight in the Mink League South Division Championship. Now, the winner of this one moves on to the Mink League Championship Series. The Renegades won the regular season series 5-3 against Joplin. Game time for this one is 7 o'clock at Joe Becker Stadium in Joplin. I have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. David Parks served in the U.S. Army in 2004 and 2005. His hometown, Lamar, Missouri, and we are proud to salute Sergeant David Parks, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Former President Donald Trump marks his return to Washington, D.C. with a high-profile speech just hours after his former vice president delivered his own remarks in the nation's capital. Also, some tips on keeping your garden alive during this summer heat, and how you can design your own Lego minifigure. That and a lot more on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A lucky person's dream might come true as the Mega Million jackpot just jumped to $830 million. Only 3 bigger jackpots have ever been won in any lottery game. A lot of folks around Joplin tell us that they would go on vacations or buy houses or cars or donate to charities and churches and spend more time with family and pay medical bills if they won the lottery.
I think I'd travel, spend more time with kids and more family time and just relax.
I would give my church a bunch of money.
I'd probably buy a big, nice house.
I'll go to Egypt. I'll go to Egypt right now.
I don't know where, but I'd definitely take a trip somewhere. Cool. I'd go shopping.
I think I'd want a new car, a new house, and maybe a new diamond ring.
Pay off all my family's debt.
Probably buy a new house, and then I would share my money with my family.
You heard her, family. Lottery tickets are sold all around the area, a lot of convenience stores. Big drawing tonight.
Did you buy your ticket?
My wife did.
Okay, if you win, I get a mill. We made that deal.
I didn't make that deal.
Well,
you said if you won, I get a mill.
Well,
I didn't reciprocate.
Let's see.
But we'll talk.
Okay.
I'll get you a beer anyway.
All right, temps up there again tomorrow, but the overall trend, we're cooling off a bit.
See you at 10. Let's make it a great evening.